Hello everybody, today we're going to be talking about Quant and this absolutely massive news that we can see right here about Google, Oracle, Amazon, and Microsoft getting awarded the Pentagon Cloud deal for up to $9 billion combined. Now, this is very involved with the movement of Quant in the space because they are directly linked to Oracle. And I see a lot of people are talking about this news, but they don't go in depth, they don't analyze this at all. They simply go over the news and they move on. I want to give you a little bit more of an in-depth view of what we could expect from this news, because this is very salient news. So without further ado, we're going to hop right into this. Nothing I say in this video is financial advice. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. Let's hop right in. So here we go. The Pentagon said Wednesday that Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Oracle received a cloud computing contract that can reach as high as $9 billion total through 2028. Now, there's a few key points to this small statement here. One, they received a cloud computing contract. So now we have to know what cloud computing is, logically. So here we go. Simply put, cloud computing is the delivery of computing services, including servers, storage, databases, networking, software, analytics, and intelligence. So now we have to ask, what can each of these companies offer the Pentagon in regard to cloud computing? Well, clearly Amazon, clearly Google, clearly Microsoft has many analytics because of their size and their data collection. They have many analytics that they're going to be able to offer, and intelligence they're going to be able to offer the Department of Defense, which we're going to go into further, and the Pentagon. So that is something big. Oracle definitely has data, definitely has analytics and intelligence they can offer, but definitely not on the scale of Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. So what does Oracle specifically have to offer is the question. Now we can see here, Oracle generated $900 million in cloud infrastructure revenue in a quarter that ended in August 31st, a small fraction of the $20.5 billion total that Amazon's cloud collected. So why would the Department of Defense, why would the Pentagon be interested in such a smaller player in the space? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because they have access to Quant and Overledger and the technology that is behind that. And we're going to get into exactly why. So the purpose of this contract is to provide the Department of Defense with enterprise-wide, globally available cloud services across all security domains and classification levels, from the strategic level to the tactical edge. So across all classification levels. So we're talking unconfidential, secret, and top secret. So these are kind of files that they want to be able to transport in a secure manner. So you might be saying, okay, if we're going to be involving blockchain technology or DLT technology, why would we ever put classified information on it? It's all public. Everybody can see it. It's open source. But that's not the case, because we have two kinds of distributed ledger technologies. We have public and we have private. And so one thing that we hear Gilbert talking a lot about, the CEO of Quant, is we hear Gilbert talking about setting up these private distributed ledgers for the enterprise grade companies. And not only that, we talk about security and the amount of security. In my last video, you heard me talking about, and heard Gilbert talking about in the video that he made, talking about his secure bridges and how he was creating interoperability not only just to simply communicate through different blockchains, different distributed ledgers, and this can include private ledgers. He was talking about how his bridges were secure, and that was their main goal, was making them secure. So they cannot be probed, so they cannot be infiltrated and be attacked by malicious actors. And so we do have this level of security that the DoD, the Department of Defense, would be interested in. So that is something really to take into account. I have right here this the statement from the Department of Defense, and this is the things they are looking for. So keep that in mind. They want global accessibility. You want to be able to access this from any part of the world. Okay? Available and resilient services. Now this is the big one. Centralized management and distributed control. What is the main part of blockchain? What is the main part of DLT? The consensus mechanism. Having many nodes that all have to agree, at least 51% of them must agree that this data is correct in order for it to be correct. Right? It's majority rules. So if we have, let's imagine, because in a government level, in a military level, the last thing you want is corruption. And when you're trusting people with many confidential files and such, it is very easy to have corruption, especially if imagine there's one server and somebody has access to the server, and I know it's not as easy as this, but through much work, could theoretically delete, alter, move high security, very sensitive files for their own benefit, and therefore you would have corruption. When it comes to a consensus mechanism, it is near impossible to alter, do anything, because it's on the distributed ledger. It can't be altered without having at least 51%. Maybe they go even higher. Maybe they go 100%. They would need full consensus to be able to alter a file. And therefore, you would have, right here, distributed control, right? And centralized management. So they obviously wouldn't be having the public retail nodes out there, people running nodes for the, they would have nodes that are specifically set out on the government level. But it would be distributed amongst many, many people. It could have up to 100, maybe 1,000, whatever they want. The point is that it would be a consensus mechanism, and it would really reduce corruption, especially when it comes to storing these files. Now, let's assume they want to delete some files. They still have the option. They would just need to have full consensus, and they would do so. So everything is still possible. Everything is still possible. And everything is still very much working, but is a much more secure option. So that is a very huge factor. Now, the question is, why would they use Oracle over anything else? Well, it all comes down to trust, because when you're working with people, especially the government, you want somebody who is very, very trusted. Somebody that's not going to be a little weasel making backdoors, imagine if they had a backdoor into all this secret information. That'd be terrible. So you need somebody who's very trusted. You're investing in a person here. You're not investing into a company or into a brand. You're investing into a person. And who is the CEO of QUANT? Gilbert Verdian. And who is Gilbert Verdian? I've gone over this many times, but people need to know. So for those of you who don't know, Gilbert Verdian has a very immaculate government resume. He's worked in many security security-oriented positions on both a high enterprise level as well as a government level. So I'm going to kind of scroll down here, look at a few. We got MasterCard here, the Ministry of Justice, HM Treasury, QUANT, of course, HM Government, UK Parliament, the Federal Reserve. The list goes on, guys. The list goes on government level, not only for a single country, but on an international level. As you can see here, Bank of England, the US Federal Reserve. He's all over the world. This is a trusted man. And that's one of the main reasons, one of the main arguments for QUANT is because it has such a strong team. But here's the thing. Oracle, if you don't know, utilizes QUANT for its interoperability systems. And so if Oracle is implementing this system, it is going to be using QUANT. And QUANT, therefore, will be used by government. And you know what that means. That is a very, very bullish move for QUANT. And of course, guys, we have many other options when it comes to DLT technology and smart contracts, etc., etc. There's so much potential for the government to want to use this kind of information, for this kind of technology to be utilized. In the future, we could see other utilizations of this as they adopt the technology more and more, as they want to stay on top of the technology. Maybe new blockchain technology comes out. They're going to be using Overledger to adapt to be able to use that new technology, to be able to interoperate with the other, perhaps blockchains. Maybe they maybe they have their own in-house multi-ledger token that they're using to transfer funds. Now that would make a lot of sense, because if you need to get money over to overseas to your military, well, the best way would be through blockchain technology, DLT technology, with a multi-ledger token to interoperate between separate DLTs. Now I could go into more detail on that, but if you guys want to know more about that, I have lots of videos in my channel that you guys can check out that have a lot of information on QUANT. I've been going on a QUANT spree, trying to get the information across, because I feel like we are in a period right now where there's a lot of speculation, and we're very close to the bottom. We are very close to the bottom. This is, in my opinion, and like I said, no financial advice, I am investing in QUANT now. I am accumulating now. So this is very important for me to be looking at these coins now and what is happening now. And this is a huge move that could potentially bring QUANT very, very high into the charts, very high into the market cap lists. So guys, that's all I'm going to cover in this video. I didn't want it to be too long. My videos have been quite long. I do like to go into I like to go in depth so much, and it kind of hurts. So I need you guys to, I know you guys, some people have more shorter attention spans, and I see that in the analytics. So I want to try and get the information as condensed as I can and put it into these shorter videos. I have no idea how long this video is, but I hope it wasn't too long. Thank you guys for watching. If you want more, make sure to subscribe. I do work hard on these videos. I do work hard on researching the content and really raking my brain to figure out how these things are interoperating and how these things are actually working in the background. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one.